Chicago, welcome in to the Chicago Sports Podcast, live from the West Loop studios of CHGO. I am Kevin Kaduk, head of content at CHGO, joined as always to my left, Kacy Standohar, to her left, Mark Carman, and behind the board is Lawrence Benedetto.
Hello.
What's going on, guys?
Hi.
Winter does not exist in Chicago anymore.
You know, this fall spring is...
fall spring.
I hate it.
This is
It's
fall spring
bogus.
1.
I think this is a little bit more than fall spring.
It was
It's
62 yesterday.
It's a little longer than fall spring.
No, it's going to be 12 degrees and snowing in like April. It's going to happen.
It will. It always snows on my birthday, which is depressing.
When's your birthday?
April 19th, everybody. For you in the comments.
Isn't that Hoag's birthday
Don't forget
too?
about it. He's somewhere near me. May?
No, I think he's in April.
Best birthday is August 11th. There is no better birthday than August 11th. Leos are superior to everybody.
Everyone comment with your birthday in the comments.
Yes, please.
Happy birthday to everyone. Happy early birthday.
I never thought it would be possible that people who live in Chicago would complain about non-winter, but you two just did. Congrats.
No, I'm
You
just
three.
saying. I'm saying that it's not over. Like we're definitely getting winter still. It's
Well,
not.
yes, we know that.
No. He just said it's over.
I don't know if it exists anymore. I really don't.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
You don't have concerns about the health of this planet, Lawrence?
I mean, obviously, I have concern about the health of the planet. The planet's on fire, but we're gonna have snow in late March or early April, and we're gonna be pissed off about it. It'll be like Cubs home opener. It'll be 35 degrees.
Clifford's reporting that Caleb is a Bear. Did they draft Caleb just now? Is it official? Because Clifford just went all over the top. Caleb is a Bear.
Big red dog. Breaking news.
I mean, Gary Ross talked on CHGO Bears how Phil Snow is gone, and now Clifford's telling me that Caleb's a Bear.
Phil Snow's gone. Your guy.
According to Gary Ross, yes, I'm going to have to work on confirming that.
How did the show go? Shane Waldron shows up.
I
Eric
thought the
Washington.
show was fun. Show was we had a lovely time on CHGO Bears, and the Bears new coordinators didn't say a whole lot, which I don't think.
Did you
was
expect them to?
Yeah, right. Not a huge surprise, exactly. And everybody apparently thinks that Shane Waldron looks like Biff.
Got to credit that dude for never saying Caleb Williams' name or Justin Fields' name the entire time.
I got a
Media
bit of
training.
I got a bit of a Brian Regan look out of him. The pictures Nick sent into the Slack channel, I was like, that looks like Brian Regan, the comedian.
Yeah, I saw that a little bit.
I don't know.
Reference I don't get. No surprise there to anyone.
All of this is because Nick Saban retired. All of these moving parts are all because Nick Saban retired. And here we are
You think so?
to
huh?
talk
Would
about
you
it.
like to do 7 degrees of
Yeah,
Nick
we
Saban?
should do the thing. Because Nick Saban retired.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll also got fired right after that. Same day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Shane Waldron and his staff leave. Shane comes to the Bears.
But
Is that a mistake? We're yet to find out.
What the hell does Saban have to do with that?
Listen,
Belichick
and
retired
then-
like the next day, right?
What are we talking about?
After that happened, Belichick was
Yeah.
gone.
A bunch of like NFL coaching changes and then college coaching changes, the carousel just moving around.
That happens every year.
I know, but it's nuts, isn't it?
The Bears
I-
stuck with Flus in his goatee
I think
or his
you're in
beard or whatever.
I think
he's
you're in a
got going on.
major reach situation. You started out strong with the thought
This
process
is all because of
that no one literally had. And I thought you were onto something, and then you
because then
somehow
Kalen DeBoer went to Alabama because Nick Saban retired, and then they wouldn't have lost their OC in Shane Waldron, but now Ryan Grubb is said OC, but he was supposed to go to Alabama, but he didn't go to Alabama, and he went.
Things are happening.
Like, do you know what I mean? Isn't it nuts?
I wanted to get your take. You're like the Office's biggest Office fan.
I am. This is true.
Flus shows up with facial hair. Did you get any Michael Scott with goatee vibes?
Yeah, but he already gave me a
Right,
little bit of
right.
Michael Scott vibe, so it just further.
I couldn't remember. What was the storyline? Why did Michael grow the goatee?
I think it's because I actually don't remember.
That's a later season.
Yeah.
Whoa, Case.
Wait, I know. I'm disappointed.
I know. You're like,
Didn't you say at one point that Flus has like a good dad look or something along those lines?
I asked.
not good dad look.
Asked.
She said she was attracted
No,
to
I
him.
said I asked if he was attractive.
I'm going to back her up on this. She asked.
said, is
I
he
then
hot?
said, you think he's hot.
So you
That was my fault.
So
It was just a question that I posed. Like, is he good? I don't know. Is he?
so you
Kacy likes football coaches.
Like-
What can we say?
There's something about him.
So you thought it, but you didn't want to say it yourself. So you asked
Yeah,
it.
I asked it. I
Okay.
posed the question, like, guys, is he?
Well, so what do you
I'm red with embarrassment right now.
rank 1 out of 10? Where
Oh,
do you put the
God.
Flus? Where does would you if you were setting the Flus
The
up
old
on
"Am I
a,
hot or not" website.
if you set up your friend with the Flus,
What are we doing here?
I know.
this is
This is horrible.
important. This is important,
I think
Lawrence.
Flus
No,
is like,
can we get
you
to
know,
the topic of the day? What are we? It's ridiculous.
like a 7.
You'd say
I'll give
you'd
him
say
a
it was,
7.
okay. There you go. Thank you.
What,
for closing the
what
loop.
I want to know is where Carm would put him on that.
I think he's a 10. Guy's so
Because of
powerful.
coaching or because of his looks?
His job, his money, his
Yeah,
look, his
all of
hair,
it combined.
everything about him. The guy's a 10.
It's been a big week at CHGO. We unveiled our partnership with Molson Coors, so it's been awesome to have the family of brands in the studios. Blue Moon, Coors Light, Miller Lite. It's everywhere. Refrigerator stocked.
Leinenkugels.
The place smells like bacon still. You may have noticed, Kacy.
Yes, as soon as I walked in. And I missed Charlie the Bacon Guy Day.
Charlie the Bacon Guy was here.
Devastating.
His odor remains. We'll see how long it takes to get out.
Selling
I don't know
point.
how bad of a problem it is. I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah.
Dude cooked up a lot of bacon. We don't have a lot of ventilation in this place.
Speaking of
No.
cooking up a lot of bacon, Matt Nuku
He said
jumping
sorry.
in for $1.99.
Flus was like Creed with the printer ink hair. That's
Creed Bratton, of course.
if I go that far.
Why did Michael get a goatee? I got to look it up.
Charlie's in the comments. He says sorry, not sorry.
Listen,
Nor should you be. That was amazing, and
was-
I want you to come every day, and I want the office to smell like bacon every day of the year.
completely agree. Thank you, Charlie. We love you.
Hey, this week's Taking Care of Business Award presented by ComEd goes to a guy who is wrapping up his tenure over Chicago media. WGN weatherman, the legend, Tom Skilling.
Oh, my God.
He is set to retire on February 28th after 45 years at WGN. It was Tom Skilling Day on Tuesday. It was his 72nd birthday. It was his day in Chicago. The governor issued a thing, and it's really been all Tom Skilling all the time on WGN this week, as it deserves to be.
Tom Skilling, if I may.
Yeah.
You may.
Oh, you may.
Tom Skilling, not only on TV, but I've worked at WGN Radio for a long time, and I don't know how Skilling does it. Literally every hit that he ever came on any show, he was the most pleasant Skilling of all time. 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, morning show, afternoon, overnights on the weekend, Skilling came to play. The guy was the most consistent, cheery media person ever. And he's talking about the weather. And somehow Tom Skilling forever remained excited about the weather, which was amazing.
Carman, let me tell you, there's a nice cold front coming in this weekend. I'm excited about this. Might have some precipitation and maybe could be snow, could be a little wintry mix.
We've had a lot of good weather people in town, right? A lot of big people. Right?
Yes.
I mean from
Ginger
Jerry,
Z, baby.
Jerry Taft, Ginger Z.
Floyd Kalber, did he ever
Cheryl
do the
Scott.
weather?
I don't know if Floyd Kalber did. I was a big Andy Avalos fan back in the day.
Avalos, he knew the wind patterns.
He came to like my 3rd grade class. That was awesome. But Tom Skilling, the king of all
The
weather
goat.
people, enjoy your retirement, Tom, because you've earned it.
No, don't change your mind. Do a Jordan. Come back. Enough with this
Those are
retirement.
facts.
We don't know what to do without you.
It does seem like he should have to go through like one more big storm with us, though, right? I mean, we did have that little polar vortex earlier this winter, but as far as winters go, this is not necessarily a weatherman's
Yeah, we've
dream.
been through that.
Yeah, we did talk about the weather. All right, let's talk about the NFL Combine, the subject for today's show. We have a lot of good things coming up today. We're going to talk Sox Stadium. We're going to talk retired numbers, a few other things. But Carm is headed towards the NFL Combine starting next week with the CHGO Bears team. Lawrence, you went last year. I was there,
did?
I think, in
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh,
Weren't you there?
I think so.
You were there.
The Raggedy Ann and Andy house.
Come on, Carm's like not sure. Yes, I was there, for God's sake.
Of course you were there. You took the picture that I got screamed at about.
I was there. I was there in 2007, I think, right after the Bears Super Bowl. Kacy, have you ever been?
I've never been. I've always wanted to go, but it always lines up with when I have state basketball tournaments.
You don't want to go. You really don't.
I feel like it'd be cool.
Okay.
And you're telling me
is
it's
not.
weird.
I'm just saying it's a weird thing. I'm going to give Carm the floor here.
Yeah, how is it weird?
Well, first off, we have to address the humble brag by he's got state basketball tournaments where I'm a powerful sideline reporter / commentator. I don't have time for the NFL
No, I would
Combine.
love to be in 2 places at once.
Well, right, because we need 3 of you for the amount of talent that you have and how many people want to hire you. Okay, look, I had not been to the Combine ever before, Kevin, and I'm always excited to go places where the people are, and it was super cool to hobnob with VIPs from the NFL late at night. You know, we had a great hangout with Rich Eisen, 2 a.m, and I've been trying to get him on the show ever since. He hasn't responded to my emails. That's okay. We're going to reconvene on that. But the actual event itself, which I had never been to, and we walk in, and granted, we had some late nights and the shows, and we're driving the whole time, and I didn't have a lot of downtime. But when we get in there, it's quiet. You don't know who the players are. They're all wearing the same spandex unis, and they're on the field where we were sitting like way away from us, and then they just run. There's no cheering. There's no anything. There's just a stopwatch, and then the next guy is up. I have been in libraries for real that felt like there was a more intense thing going on than what went on in the NFL Combine. And so I took a great nap last year, and people yelled at me, this guy doesn't even appreciate his position in media. He's a total has-been if I could have that ticket, I'd be on my feet standing, run, I'd be up, and I'd be doing jumping jacks cheering for these guys. So I'm going to try. So I'm vowing this year I will not take a nap. I will pace through Lucas Oil and watch these guys and try to really dive into what's going on. But I am not recommending anybody spend any money to get in there, or even put yourself in the lottery to spend the money of gas and parking and whatever it takes to get there, because I really think you could do better going to Bears training camp, going to a preseason game, which you could get into for next to nothing, versus going to the Combine, where you'll see absolutely nothing and learn nothing.
Like the winter meetings.
I would say the winter meetings is actually a step down from the Combine.
Step down as in
I would
what?
agree with you on that.
Well, I think the winter meetings and the Combine are great because it is a great convention. All the sports movers or shakers are there. You have a lot of good bar time, a lot of good going out to meal time, and you don't have to worry about, like you were just at the Radio Row, you don't have to worry about the actual game or anything. Not that you guys did either, but
well, that's another. If you want to hang out with NFL bigwigs, going down to Indy right now and hanging out,
you get amazing access. Indianapolis, to me, is a pretty good town to kind of escape Chicago from, no kind of matter what time of year it is, because it's all walkable. They do have great restaurants there, good hotels to stay in. So, like, I love going to Indianapolis for the Combine, or a handful of times I've been there to cover NCAA basketball. But the actual event is like, you kind of think it's going to be this big thing, and you get there, it's hard to track. Adam
Trostowski in this chats, you're not going to get to see Caleb throw.
Right.
He's not. I don't know what exactly he's going to do. He's not doing 3 cone drills. He's doing nothing down there. He'll get measured.
I would almost say it's a better TV event as much as,
The best thing about if you're going down to Indy is you hang out where everybody is. These bars are open. Anybody can walk in there, and there's a bunch of dudes walking around, so you might get to talk to someone that you never get to talk to.
Yeah.
You can certainly talk to me. I'll be there. Say hello.
He won't be asleep.
You come up and say, Carman, I love you on CHGO. I
just
promise.
Rustle him.
I'll buy you a beer.
He'll be awake the whole
startle
time.
him, just softly.
And if he goes like this, don't wake him up.
What are you most looking forward to, though? I guess, like, is there one person that you do want to see in person or actually talk to? I mean, is Caleb going to talk? Caleb, I guess, will talk with the media, correct?
I'm Unclear. Yes. Oh, yes. Of course he will.
Yeah.
He's not going to talk with like Bears media, but he'll be at the podium. Sure, he'll have his press
And
conference.
Braggs will be right in the front,
Braggs is planning on
yelling questions for 4 straight mintle
Yeah. So that'll be
He'll be like, do you think you're going to be the next Patrick Mahomes?
That'll be interesting. The wide receivers are super interesting. All of that stuff. The press conferences where they're at their individual podiums. There's about 15 of them going on at a time. I enjoy that a lot.
I can't wait to see how many reporters are standing by.
It's going to be
last year for Bryce Young, it was crazy.
Yeah,
just like it's like a 15 by 20 square foot area or whatever.
Well,
and it was just packed.
Were you there when
cameras and I was kind of in the back there while I was hanging out with Shane, who shot it for us.
Were you there when he walked by us in the convention center? Because when he walked by us, I was like, I can't believe how tiny that dude is.
Right.
It was noticeable how small he was.
Are you going to get nervous if Caleb looks tiny?
I would get a little nervous. If he see. People are like, he's 5'10". No, he isn't, and like he's 6'1". Is what most people say. But I am. It is interesting just to see him
Clifford
up
is hoping
close.
he's going to measure at 6'3". I guess
Yeah.
You never know with these growth spurts, right?
But like that part will be good. But Ryan Poles is talking, so to hear from Poles at the combine, and hopefully he'll be on CHGO. I hope he makes the rounds, and we get to talk to him. That'll be the highlight.
Hey, hit that like button if you're joining us today on this fine Thursday in Chicago. I want to tell everyone about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America, something that I've just become familiar with over the past few weeks. I'm enjoying playing, guys. It is the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It is just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, I pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections for that night. Then I watched the winnings roll in. Did pretty well on the Super Bowl, I'll tell you that much. And Prize Picks is the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this basketball season. Again, I just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place my entry. I've actually been playing hockey.
I hit. Oh wait, no, that's a lie. I failed miserably on Monday night. I was taking advice from Greg Boyson about a couple of things, and
The Seth Jones thing.
yeah, the Seth Jones.
Seth Jones was more or less than 26 3/4 minutes.
Ice time.
Time on ice. And I thought, man, that seems awfully high.
Yeah,
And Greg is like, no, he's been playing
28, 29, no problem.
I didn't do my own research, which you should.
Yes, do your own research if you're going to be on Prize Picks.
But, just bet the over on any Connor Bedard thing. Although I think.
Yeah, I did. That night I also did a Connor Bedard anytime goal bet. So
Gotcha.
I hit that.
But the cool thing about it is Prize Picks is really simple to play. You just go on there, you make your picks, submit your entry in less than 60 seconds. It offers quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types. And you can actually play across sports too, which is cool. So you can pick a basketball player, a hockey player, or whatever. Go to prizepicks.com/CHGO and use code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO and use code CHGO. Daily fantasy sports made easy.
And if you are looking to buy tickets in the secondary market, getting great value, you want to do that at Game Time Tickets. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying a ticket for the next big event, sports, music, comedy, theater. Killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. And yes, there is no better place to see exactly what you're going to pay with the all-in prices. And I do love the zone deals where you'll put me in that last in the section behind the bucket at the UC for about 18% less on average in savings. I don't really care where I'm sitting. I just want to get in the stadium because I want to see if you're going, like, say, Sunday to the Blackhawks and the Red Wings. Hopefully you're already a part of our takeover and heading out with us. But if you just want to show up and see MJ there and you just want to get in, great way to do it with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHGO. You get $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed.
That Sunday game is a hot ticket. If
I know. Yeah, it's very hot.
you were part of the CHGO Sports family and you got in with the CHGO Blackhawks takeover, like a lot of our people did, Lawrence, you and I are going on Sunday.
Can't wait.
Me
It was
too.
a nice, affordable ticket.
Harm's
So,
going?
I'm in, buddy.
Oh.
That'll be fun for you guys.
Let's go.
Little gathering.
Huh.
I'm really
I'm
looking forward to
rethinking
it.
my appearance if Carm's going to be there.
And it's Chris Chelios, dude.
I figured you were going to buy me at least 2 beers.
Is he getting honored at halftime? Is it like a
It's
like
before.
a period
It
intermission
starts
or
at
before?
3. It's actually 2 hours before puck drop, which
there's
is
no
a little.
way Carm won't be there. I don't think he'll be there. I was actually thinking of going and then just leaving for the game. I mean, they're going to
The Red Wings, Patrick Kane's return.
Yeah, I want to see
on,
that
man.
video, and then maybe I'll bounce. I don't know. We'll
So
see.
you're just gonna go for the pregame festivities.
Pre-game / Patrick Kane video that makes me cry, and then I have to leave because I'm upset.
I need to get into that post-game party because Michael Jordan's going to be there, probably Eddie Vedder.
Have we now reconfirmed that MJ will be there? Because I know it was reported, and then like 3 hours later, it was like, that was.
I think
so you're-
Chelios said that he was.
No. But yes, Chelios did, except he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's the
Oh.
problem. So apparently, from what our Blackhawks beat writers and other beat writers were saying, is that actually might not be true. That he may have initially said yes, but had to cancel due to him being the richest man in the world and doesn't want to come to Chicago ever again.
Well, if Gary
got
Ross says MJ will be there, then it's probably true.
I know.
Got some tequila to drink,
Yes,
but
Kaplan
presumably
recorded it.
there's
Great.
tequila available in Chicago. So
David Kaplan's been wrong on 1,000 things, Gary
Yes,
Ross. As much as I love David
down.
Kaplan, so let's.
I think Chris Chelios actually didn't. Chelios.
That's what I
Yes.
thought. That's what we
Again,
just said.
2 hours after that appearance on
Oh,
Blade
okay, gotcha.
it was then.
So the point is that it would be bad optics for the Bulls if MJ a month after
Yeah.
you have the Ring of Honor ceremony and MJ was too busy and didn't specify what he was doing as to why he didn't come, and then Chris Chelios is getting honored, your competing tenant on some level in the UC, and Jordan signs up for that. That would be the ultimate one finger salute to.
And
Jerry
am very
Reinsdorf.
much here for it because really, honestly, fuck that guy.
So let's get that off. Let's get segment 2 off. Jerry Reinsdorf has dominated a lot of the Chicago headlines this week for his adventures in Springfield, going hat in hand, asking lawmakers for help with his project in the 78. And he wants Illinois taxpayers to again.
$1.2 billion.
Jerry's always up to something.
So this is embarrassing. Just and like people are like, well, he's not actually asking for any more tax dollars. He's asking for the hotel tax to continue and to be put in his new stadium.
Just silly.
The first deal was ridiculous. This extending it to give him another stadium would be more ridiculousness. Do we not have other needs in Chicago, i.e., how about some schools in the inner city that could be where the youth of our city could have a much better chance to be successful?
City, the state, absolutely.
Right.
I just think like, okay, you're going and you're making this case that this is going to be a big revenue generator, and I'm going to, the team is in danger of moving. You made these arguments in 1987. Okay, you didn't move, you stayed, and how big of a revenue generator? How much has the new Comiskey Park 2, how much has that changed that neighborhood?
Well, and that's the point. I do know people who, like, listen, I grew up in Highland Park, Illinois, which is about as far away from Bridgeport as you can be. I know people who grew up there who are living in Bridgeport right now. I go through Bridgeport. It is an evolving neighborhood. It is close enough to downtown. The White Sox could have been a pillar tenant. They're building stuff up around, spending their own money to do, obviously you're not going to be able to create Wrigley Field South, but you could have created something unique to it. And they just never did it. And now you're going to tell me that you're going to move 2 stops on the L further north and you're going to create this phenomenal community?
Not buying it.
I just don't. I don't know, man. Like you would think that there would be some level of, I've done really, really well in life, and let me see how much impact I can make over here, and let me put this money that I don't need because I'm a gazillion billionaire.
Also 88 years old.
Yeah. So I find it upsetting, really, because I don't want the White Sox to go anywhere. Like there's some people saying like, oh, screw them, let them go play in Nashville. No, man, I don't want to lose the White Sox.
Well, that's the other part of it. Like part of what makes Chicago is that we do have two baseball teams, one on the north side, one on the south side. So you do want them to stay. Obviously, there's a lot of people who are really into the White Sox. Like my dad is a huge White Sox fan. And, you know, I grew up one as well. Now, over the last few years, seeing the way Jerry Reinsdorf has treated the fans and how poorly he's treated the fans, it's switched. And well, if it was another owner, like maybe you get talked into the whole sweet talk thing. Okay, maybe that does tie together the South Loop.
I don't think so though. Like if the Bears sat there and said $1.2 billion in funding, hell no. Absolutely not.
Right. No, but don't you think there's a small part of it that Jerry Reinsdorf is doing the asking that makes you even more dug in against it?
Yeah, no, there is the extra Reinsdorf cringe factor for sure. But the other side of it is like, look, and I get it that the Cubs did not want to move from Wrigley Field, but the Cubs got nothing. They had to spend their own money.
And Reinsdorf has spent his own money before with the United Center. So it's something that he's been able to do. And I don't think anyone's saying, oh, the United Center is keeping the Bulls or the Blackhawks from being competitive.
Right.
You built your own thing. You know, that campus keeps growing bigger and bigger as time goes by.
If you want to give back to Chicago and the place that you won a World Series and 6 NBA championships and have raised your family, the whole thing, do Chicago right. Do your fans right. And you could also apologize for how disappointing this latest rebuild turned out, because there was a lot of optimism. It's not that long ago
so crazy.
I mean, I certainly am not, too old that I can remember Rick Hahn saying, like, I'm not talking about one championship, I'm talking about multiple championships, which was a ridiculous comment.
What was the quote? We'll see you at the parade.
Yeah. Let me know when we're at the parade. That's when I'll celebrate this. And I was like, okay, how about just you win one? You don't need to talk about multiples. It's hard to win in baseball. You winning another World Series would be an incredible accomplishment. And whatever, forget about the words. The thing went way south real fast, and it's painful.
You can't, and the other part of it too is like Comiskey Park right now, Sox Park. There's nothing wrong with that. And saying you can't compete in that, especially when you're in a division with Cleveland, Kansas City, Minnesota, Detroit.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Wow. Shots fired.
Well, I mean, just from a simple macroeconomic standpoint, right? Like, what Cleveland has done and Cleveland has not been a franchise that's been replete with resources. I mean, obviously in the 90s they were filling up that place, but Jacobs Field hasn't been called that in 30 years or whatever.
Always the Jake. It's progressive. They just added new seats. They changed the color of the seats and added new stadium seats. So you can just renovate without tearing the whole thing down.
Yeah. So to me, it's just kind of just frustrating because
they've also, look, they put a lot of money into making Guaranteed Rate Field, as it's called now. They put a lot of money into making it better. They closed the gap in the outfield. They lopped off a part of the upper deck. They painted the seats green, all these things.
If you're posting between 85 to 95 wins a year, that place is more than fine.
And even now with the less than stellar product, let's say it as nice as possible, they're still getting 20,000 plus out there. You're feeding them absolutely nothing. You're feeding them 60 wins in bad PR, and there's still people going out there, filling it up halfway.
I think he's in for a rude awakening this year, though. I think it really is.
It's going to be ugly this year. You are
with the PR. What do you
just
mean?
with the attendance totals?
Yeah,
it's going to be down. Mm-hmm. They're gonna have a rough go of it, but.
I saw a White Sox hat there, the new ballpark hat. I thought, man, that's a great hat. I'd love to have it. There was a time where a cool hat comes on my Instagram feed, and it's like, buy it right away, Apple Pay, let's go.
Up. You swiped up.
I'm like, I don't want to do it this year. I just...
listen, for the record...
0.0 chance of making the playoffs, according to Fangraphs.
Okay, well...
Is that bad?
I don't think there's anything lower.
They didn't even give a 0.1?
I don't understand. Yeah, I mean...
Nope. 0.
Not even a tick for having 25 heartbeats.
Okay. So that's not that. Fangraphs got to step up their game. They at least get 0.1. There is baseball is crazy.
I mean,
the team sucks.
Their
team's fucking terrible.
They still have it to play the game.
They signed a bunch of ex-Royals. That's what they've done in the offseason. They're going to trade their only good pitcher.
Are you really arguing that there's not 1/10 of 1% chance? There's 1/10 of 1% chance.
No way.
Okay, there's not.
It is the AL Central.
Are you going to bet it? What's the?
No.
You'd have to put up like $100 to make a buck. If you're that certain, then hey, you get $1.
No thanks.
Probably not worth the risk. But
Yeah.
Real quick, another big Chicago thing. Justin Fields on the St. Brown Brothers podcast.
Oh,
Kacy, did you believe him on
No.
the Instagram?
No. I liked, I think it was Mike Greenberg's take on it.
What did he
this
say?
morning. He goes, it's absolutely him starting to find closure, starting to say goodbye. He said he had trouble in past years processing things, and he's processing this. These are Greenberg's words, not mine. But I agree with him. I don't think that was just to take some time off. There's a mute button for that. You could silence certain accounts, their stories, whatever, to take a break.
Yeah.
And I love how he compared it to like being with a girl. He was like, "Oh, you can still mess with a girl and not follow her because there's something going on that you're trying to hide."
Right.
In my opinion. So where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't think he was honest about that. I do think that he's trying to slide away.
Just move on.
Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think he's angry. Is what I think.
Yeah. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't go out of your way to do that unless there was a reason.
I mean, all these
Being in limbo is weird. I mean,
right, and everyone out there, should they draft Caleb? Will they keep Justin? I'd be exhausted too. But I fully believe that he wants to be back here. He wants to be chosen by the Bears, and that if ultimately the Bears shock the world and they do that, he will come back with a chip on his shoulder and put his best foot forward, and hopefully they'll win a lot of football games.
Maybe it's a whole big stunt. Like, what if it's a whole stunt?
I don't think so.
What if the Bears are in on it?
Yeah, him and Poles cooked this up.
Yeah, they cooked. He was letting Poles cook.
See, now
and
I'm in,
they just planned this whole thing. They were in cahoots.
so they can get a bigger haul.
Yes. What if? Because you know how they had those tweets a couple weeks ago about our quarterback JF1, and it was highlights of him. Like, what is the meaning of all of it?
And then
I feel like
Kevin
it's
Warren
calculated.
comes out and does his whole thing, and they're just sending all sorts of signals. Just
It could be really calculated.
It couldn't.
What if?
I mean, they're
But what if?
I like how she just quickly did, unless it just pivoted right away.
Not you. What if?
Hey, what if? You just
yeah.
made me.
The one thing that I took away from it is I'm going to miss Justin Fields when he's gone. I mean, such a likable guy, and I've said this before on this podcast. I hate that. If the Bears do get to the top, it's probably not going to be with Justin Fields, because it would have been really fun to do with him. So, and kind of just listening to a talk for an hour just seems like a likable. I mean, for being an NFL quarterback, and we know how pro athletes can kind of be in the year 2024, very detached and not that relatable. And for being as big of a star and being as great of an athlete as Justin Fields, he still seems like a regular guy.
There was a lot of stuff in that podcast. I mean, I took extensive notes that we didn't talk about on CHGO Bears, so I might as well dump it out
Yeah,
here.
Let's do it. Yeah, there we go.
Well,
Give us
first
your
Carm
trash.
notes.
he's
4 hours of
notes.
Carm notes.
He said that Calais Campbell is terrible at trash talking, and that he doesn't trash talk, that he never initiates it. But there's some guy in the Lions, I think Maven42. I meant to look that up, and I didn't. And this guy was talking trash to him, and Justin looks at him, he's like, I don't know who you are. But you do have a C on your jersey, so maybe you're great on special teams. Just straight took a shot at special teamers, which I thought was fairly entertaining. And then, he's inspired by Cam. That's why he wears number 1. I should have known that, but didn't. That he's keeping in touch with Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. And basically what they've told him is just don't listen to the outside noise. And by the way, also advocate for yourself with the offensive coordinator and tell him what you like and what you don't like, which I thought was, decent advice right there. That
Must have been from Russell.
Yeah, right. Well, it could have been. Aaron's got some of that too, right? And then he talked about Atlanta, and he's like, well, they need another receiver. And that also he's not wild about it because people are going to be blowing up his phone for tickets, but that, hey, they've got some stuff down there. And then he never took a visit to Ohio State. He just was like, this sucks here at Georgia. I'm not playing. I should have bailed at the start when they won a national championship, and I knew that I wasn't going to play. So I should.
Who did he lose to? Jake Fromm? Is that who he lost his job to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the
Jake
dude
Fromm,
won.
straight farm.
I mean, it's not a slight on Justin though. The guy won the national championship. You're not going to bench that guy.
I knew this kid. I knew this kid in college at Wisconsin. He was from Kenosha, He originally signed up to go to Baylor, sight unseen. Him and his dad packed up the car, drove all the way down to Baylor, got out of the car. His dad looked around and he said, "No way am I sending my kid here." They got back in the car, drove back up, and he enrolled in Madison.
I guess Joanna and Chip didn't meet him at the
I guess
drop
not.
off.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, if he doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right. Archie Griffin, did you? He talked about the greatest players in Ohio State history, and he didn't mention Archie Griffin, who won multiple Heisman trophies. And I'm
The
on
only player ever.
It was like the mid-'70s.
right.
mentioned Eddie
How was he
George?
going to know?
Exactly, which is what he said. He's like, I'm not a football historian, bro. I don't
Yeah.
remember Archie Griffin. I don't care who that is. Like, he just straight don't talk to me about Christopher Columbus. Don't talk to me about the Declaration of Independence. Don't talk to me like this guy's not a history major.
Did he mention Eddie George?
TSU
head coach Eddie George?
He did mention Eddie George, but only because it was he just
Did you know
acknowledged
Casey's
him.
interviewed him?
Yeah. Casey talks to
Little
everybody.
plug.
Does anybody know? Do we have any millennials around here? The shit's OD. Do you know what that means?
I don't overdrive. I don't actually
Overdosed?
know.
I don't know. What are we talking about?
Are you sure that's millennial speak?
It might not be millennial speaking.
You called him a millennial yesterday. He's not a millennial. He's
He's Gen
24
Z.
years old.
So what? So he's
You need
Gen
to call
Z.
in Emma.
Okay. Does anybody speak Gen
Millennials
Z?
are old now.
Right. That's
Emma
depressing.
as old
speaks
as
Gen
you.
Z.
What's that?
Emma. We have to call in Emma.
Get
Call
Emma
in
in
some
here.
reinforcements.
That shit's OD.
I don't really
Emma,
care that much.
what does OD mean?
And then they asked him about quarterback running. He said the best runner was Lamar, and then they pushed him on saying, "Haven't you passed me?" He's like, "Well, he's better at juking, but I can run people over." But he was very much underlining that he does not want to take hits. That was his whole thing this year. And then there was some talk from in that receiver room that EQ calls Valus a dumbass, and that Valus always thinks he's right, and so does EQ, and that Tyler is apparently the worst guy in there that always thinks that he's right, and Tyler Scott's this big LeBron guy. I could have listened to these guys for
Be a
hours.
quick segment.
You don't have to
then.
listen to the
I knew it
podcast. You
wasn't.
can just listen
Yeah.
here
I've
for the
done it.
recap.
I just want to get Casey's take. and
I've done
Carm
enough
took it
Carm
over.
shows to know that it's going to be like 73 minutes of him talking about all his notes.
I don't know my take. I have two takes. One take is that it's all a ruse.
Yeah, I like that take.
It's a joke and
Good
it's a PR stunt, or he's just really trying to exit and just save face right now.
He was in a good mood for somebody who was bummed. He had good energy.
I understand.
He's going on vacation. He's going
Why
to
do you
Europe.
Guy's going to
Oh,
Amsterdam.
rich.
He's going over to
Yeah, where is he going?
Amsterdam and Milan.
Oh, man, I'm jealous.
At
Probably
the
gonna go
end
see
of
some
at the end
matches.
of Greeny's rant, he said, "Let him go as soon as possible, Chicago Bears, and
Yeah.
let him be successful in Atlanta or Pittsburgh, wherever."
The one hole in the whole thing that Fields did yesterday was he's talking about his trip, and he said Europe's a different vibe, but then he said he's never been there. So how do you know what the vibe is, Justin? if you know it's different if you haven't been there.
He
Fields.
did European history, not football history.
Yeah. We love you, Justin. We wish you the best wherever you end up, here or there.
I stand with Fields.
I did not want him booed, and that's why we didn't stand with Fields, because he doesn't deserve it, because he's a first-class guy. Booing him would have been ridiculous, and we didn't.
So the cool thing about CHGO is that we get sponsors in here that we actually use and love. We had Salerno's Pizza. We've been ordering Salerno's Pizza here for 2 straight years before they came on. Like, Salerno's is my favorite pizza. One thing I also use all the time before they became a sponsor, and now I'm really happy that they also became a sponsor, CD One Price Cleaners. That's my every week. Well, it was my back when I had to wear things that weren't CHGO sweatshirts.
Yeah, you haven't gone in like 3-4 years.
I mean,
now.
I go there and bring in like the stuff I wear for Christmas and
Sure.
Easter, whatever. But CD One Price Cleaners all over Chicagoland. You've probably seen them before. And right now you can save over 30% on your dry cleaning bill by switching to a CD One Price Cleaners. They always offer a simple, transparent service. Other cleaners charge a different price for every garment type, and they might have upcharges, and you pay a different price every time you visit. At CD One Price Cleaners, they charge one low price for any garment. Yes, even sports jerseys, the same one low price. I always like when I go in there, and they've got to get it off of the carousel, and you watch that
Carousel's the best
stuff,
thing in the world.
and you'll see somebody with like a dry clean, like Jonathan Taves jersey, and you're like, that guy knows how to party. CD One Price Cleaners has your order ready the same or next day. Other cleaners take 2 to 4 days to have your clean garments ready. CD One Price Cleaners also sends you a text when your order is ready for pickup, which is nice. They offer a wide variety of services from dry cleaning You can bring a bag of laundry in there, and they'll just wash and fold it for you. They'll do your blankets, comforters, sleeping bags, tailoring and alterations, leather cleaning, and you can even bring an area rug, and they'll get that done for you. Visit chgo.cd1, one.com. Link is in the description right now. And once there, you can pick from an in-store coupon or online pickup and delivery coupon options. So check that out. CD1 price.
And hey, if you're enjoying the show today and first off, this is what we need you to do. We need you to hit the like button. Then we need you to hit the subscribe button. And then if you want to go the full distance, become a diehard. You will get the premium written content. You get 20% off all our events. You get a free t-shirt and you get discount on merchandise. You get access to our Discord where you can hang out in any of the chats, Bears, Cubs, Bulls, White Sox, Hawks, the whole thing, hanging out with diehard sports fans just like you in our diehard Discord, which is as Greg Braggs likes to say, better than the mean streets of Twitter. So, and we also are doing some overtimes on there as well.
Braggs. What has become of your life?
I know.
I think he'd quote Braggs.
Believe me, it's terrible, but this is what's happened, and now I'm quoting Gregory P. Allen Braggs. It's also a great way to support us. We greatly appreciate it. AllCHGO.com. Become a diehard. Get all the access. Support the product. We appreciate it.
All right, final segment. We talked about Chris Chelios. That number 7 is going up to the rafters on Sunday. Wanted to run down some other potential retired numbers in Chicago. Wanted to know, get your takes on some of these. And I think we've actually done this on the show before, but we'll spruce up the segment.
Okay. No one knows that. You don't have to say that.
We've never done this before. This is the first time anyone's ever had this thought, and we're doing it for you right now. You love the CHGO Sports Podcast.
All right, number 8 for the Cubs, Andre the Hawk Dawson.
How the hell is it not already retired?
Yeah, I thought it was.
It should be, right?
Confused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not even on the flagpole? No, it's not.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
There's a hawk flag. It flies
like above the.
It's a bird.
Where Sammy's.
Yes, above the bird.
It's just a flag that says hawk because, listen, for those of us who were going to Cubs games when Andre was in uniform, the only other player that generated more excitement in that ballpark was Sammy. I mean, I can't speak to 69 and Billy and Ronnie and Ernie and all that, but I can speak to 84 and I can speak to 89 and I can speak to when the Hawk came around. And the Hawk, they used to bow to him in right field. He was, 49 homers, 137 RBIs. Dude won the MVP on a last place club. He was just that exciting. Andre Dawson's number should be retired at Wrigley Field, 100%.
Yeah, and just a great person. We talked to him at the winter meetings.
That too,
did.
First class all day.
And when I worked for the Cubs for a season during the year, he just hangs out, sits in the lobby. No one bothers him. He's just like a good dude.
Right.
Yeah.
So he wants his hat to be on the plaque to be changed from the Expos. The Expos actually did retire his number. A lot of that, I mean, I guess it's still retired, but the Expos aren't a franchise anymore.
Well, right. He didn't raise a stink at the time, but now he looks back on it and he wishes that he did. And then his most fun years, where he became as popular as he became was in Chicago, and he loved being here. So, I mean, I would think that Major League Baseball would allow the player what's in his heart to determine it and not be some power. Well, you played more time in Montreal, and we want the Expos represented in the Hall, and we're not going to do that. Just to hook up the player, man. The player did a lot for you. Honor what he did.
That's good, Don. Number 21 for the Cubs, Sammy Sosa.
This one will take a while.
But should it be?
I think so. Do you?
No, I think Sammy's number should be flying from there right now. He was Sammy freaking Sosa.
So then, yes.
So yeah.
Yes, but I don't think it should take a while. I think it should be done.
I'm saying it will take a while. I don't want it to.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's at least has to step foot inside Wrigley Field.
He's coming back soon.
I think we have a T-shirt about that.
He's coming back to Chicago. We do have the Bring Sam. What is
He's
it?
going to be at a sports expo.
Yeah.
Bring Sammy home. Bring him
Sammy
home.
Sammy.
I mean, there's been so many people who have worn 21 since he left. It's almost like the Cubs delight in giving it out. Like, here you go, Jason Marquis. We're 21.
Nice. Jason Marquis. Quality fifth starter. Maybe fourth. I don't know.
I don't know if he deserved the 21, but
He didn't.
Bears. So the Bears are an interesting case because they have retired so many numbers. you have to have a certain amount of numbers just available to, for an NFL team because there's so many players. And they've actually said after Mike Ditka, no more. But like, do Brian Urlacher and Devin Hester both are now in the Hall of Fame? Do they deserve to have their numbers
Yes
retired?
and yes.
I mean, Dan Hampton, I guess the case for that is like Dan Hampton's number isn't retired. Steve McMichael's won't be. Jimbo Covert's isn't.
Transition all those numbers into the new Ring of Honor when you open up your brand new stadium. Let's make them all back available. Let people wear most of the numbers.
And have a better Ring of Honor ceremony than the Bulls did.
I was going to say, yeah, please don't hire
Michael Jordan will be at that
Reinsdorf.
one, though.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Michael Jordan will be there.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because it's like, okay, George Halas's number 7 is retired. I don't even really know that George Halas wore number 7. So, there's
Yeah,
like
I
all
think
these old guys.
I think of him as wearing a fedora or something, right?
He's in a trench coat. That's what he wore on
there
the
you go,
field.
trench
So I do
coat.
think like they do
Retire the
need
trench
to
coat.
Yeah.
unretire some of these numbers of guys who have. I mean, Halas is probably a bad example because he is the founder or whatever. But
He's got a statue. That's all he needs.
right, and it'd be pretty cool to have a number 7 Bears jersey, I guess.
Bob Avellini. Didn't Avellini wear 7 back in the day?
Did he?
I'm 99% certain that's right.
Okay, that's before my time, Carm.
Really?
Yes.
I just aged myself. That's painful. I won't sing you the Bob Avellini song.
So-
I used to sing it.
So to me, like, okay, Brian Urlacher, like maybe.
I feel like Urlacher, I'm going to hate saying this, more than Hester, right?
I mean, people
Like
have
if
worn
you-
20. Kyle Fuller was 23, and then someone else has been 23 since Hester, right? No one's worn 54 since Urlacher. So, like, if you're not even going to go there,
for one, who is it?
Urlacher, I
Right.
think.
Right?
For the record, I am correct on Avellini wearing 7. Urlacher was a better football player than Devin Hester. Let's not get this confused. With the Bears situation with numbers, though, I would not retire anymore because it's literally
Gary says Bears took Urlacher number out of circulation, so that means retired. Fly the damn banner.
Honestly, the Bears should retire Gary Ross. I think they should. There should be a GR.
A GR.
It's next to GH.
No, it's just a
CHGO will
comment.
do it first.
It's just one of his comments.
Yeah.
We should have a GR. We should have GR shirts. I stand with GR. I get my info from GR.
So here's one that really
Don't you
bothers
think?
me.
I follow Gary Ross. Yeah.
I want to be Gary.
Here's one that really bothers me in Chicago. Number has not been retired. Ozzie Guillen's number 13.
Agreed.
Like, how is that not retired? Frank Thomas, 35. Paul Konerko, 14. Mark Burley, 56. Fourth guy, Ozzie Guillen, the manager, first Latino to win the World Series, 1985, Rookie of the Year.
And still very involved in Chicago White Sox and just sports here in general.
Absolutely. The ultimate Southsider. Like,
Yeah.
how is Ozzie Guillen's number not retired?
Well, and this is not the reason to do it, but look, the White Sox are struggling with publicity right now. If there's one thing they could do this season where they're probably not going to win many games, you could announce that you're retiring Ozzie's number sometime soon and have the ceremony in August and have Ozzie Guillen Day and let your beloved manager stand out there and get the cheers that he so much deserves. Because I really don't think they would have won the World Series without him. He took on a lot.
Absolutely.
He took on a ton of heat, and he had that Ozzie swag. Ozzie 13 should be retired all
So
day.
if this seed is not planted, I will put it out there. This is free advice for White Sox PR. Win this battle. Next year is the 20th anniversary of the 2005 team. When you have that Sox Fest, lead it off with number 13 is being retired.
A really
That's
good
the way to
idea.
do it.
That's phenomenal. That's why you're the head of content right there. Somebody seriously.
Hire this man for your sales and PR needs.
I mean,
This was actually kind of in the news a couple of years ago, and Ozzie Guillen said, "Look, if you're going to do this, do it while I'm alive." So I don't think we're in danger of losing Ozzie anytime soon, but tomorrow's not promised to anyone. Ozzie Guillen deserves that. Jerry Reinsdorf and crew over there need to get that done.
I agree.
Bulls. Derrick Rose, number 1.
Well, 1 and 13 are your numbers for me. I
100%.
Yeah.
Joakim Noah, got to get that number in the rafters.
Okay.
I love Joakim.
Heart and soul, man. He's the epitome of what the Bulls are. He plays for the guy in the last row in the balcony. I mean, to me, those are hands down no brainers. They both should be retired.
What are the qualifications for getting your number retired? Is it just a decision?
Yeah,
Do you have to
I
be
think
in the
I
Hall
think the
of Fame?
Blackhawks actually have some qualifications laid out, but I mean anyone can get retired. Like, I mean, Keith Magnuson wasn't like the greatest player of all time, but he was like the heart and soul. Then he died in a car accident like 20 years ago, and he wore number 3, which was also Pierre Pilat's number.
I mean,
so
the Blackhawks one that people complain about is Larmer.
right.
Yeah,
And-
Laz just put out an article today about it.
Yeah,
How he should be next.
Connor Bedard should be next.
he'll have it someday.
Hopefully not. Hopefully we get him playing on the ice for another 15
Just put him
years.
up there anyway.
Back to the Bulls real quick. 54 and 91. Horace Grant and Dennis Rodman.
I would retire 54. Dennis to me, it's the same argument that with Andre. Dennis is a Piston. Dennis came up with Detroit. Dennis was a huge part of the Bad Boys. Dennis threw Scottie Pippen in the basket support. Dennis loved Chuck Daly and Isaiah and all of it. Dennis was a hired gun here, great hired gun, did a lot of great things, not trying to take anything away from him. Horace was a bull. Horace is still around. Horace is with Luke Longley and Scottie Pippen right now in some weird no bull thing where they're making money off The Last Dance. Congratulations to those guys finally figuring out they didn't need Michael to make them money. Let go and make your own money off of it, and they're doing it now. Good for you. If Scotty had only done that rather than put out this insane book, which, by the way, is actually a pretty good book. But I'm a 54 guy over 91 all day.
Okay. I would do both, and I don't think you're getting another 91. So, like, why not put it up there? I mean,
Yeah, just do it.
I mean, I wouldn't. You want to honor Dennis? Go ahead.
I'm interested to see if the White Sox ever do Jose Abreu. Like, no one's ever going to wear 79 again, and Jose Abreu was really the only reason to watch the White Sox, other than, I guess, Chris Sale in the 2010s.
You shouldn't do it though, just because the number's not going to be used. But I'll say,
I
It was
agree,
Jose
yeah.
Abreu. I mean,
no, but
Number.
Jose is a fine candidate to be retired. But that's the guy that came in with the White Sox, never wanted to leave the White Sox, and was a great White Sox. Dennis is different, but the best thing I could say about Dennis in the 4th championship in those finals, Mike did not play to Jordan levels. Dennis, you could have made an argument that Dennis was the MVP of those finals. He was phenomenal.
I don't think you can make that argument, but sure.
He was awful damn good. Now that being said, he gets way too much credit for what he did in Championship 5 and Championship 6 when he was basically, a non-existent player, and he's going off to Vegas and he's getting drunk and he's injured and missing and whatnot. Although he did, as underlined in The Last Dance, when Scotty was out of the first half of the season, that was his next best contribution after 96. Okay, I feel better.
So the Blackhawks final, you're going to see number 2. You're going to see another number 7 with Seabrook. You're going to see number 19. You're going to see 88. Do you think we'll ever see 50 with Corey Crawford? I'll give it to Lawrence.
I mean, I think he deserves it. I don't know. I guess with this new Blackhawks, all the things they could do where it doesn't have to just be one guy with the number. Like they already said that Seabrook will have his time, even though Chelios is going up this Sunday. Yes, they should definitely retire Crow. He was amazing.
I think
I don't know
so,
how
too.
many times in those years, how many times I texted my friends, Crow MG. Like I would send that all the time throughout.
And
the playoffs.
no other goaltender in franchise history has 2 Stanley Cups.
I mean, he was awesome.
I think what makes it a little difficult is like they're probably not going to retire Eddie Belfour's number.
I don't care. Eddie didn't win a damn cup.
Yeah,
That's not, no disrespect to Eddie, but
but Eddie Belfour was a better goaltender.
Yeah, and he had whiskey in his water cup, which I liked.
Is that true?
No.
Bull.
But I always like to think that he had the old green Gatorade thing they would put on the goal.
I
And
don't think you could prove that it wasn't.
Yeah, maybe vodka.
If we were talking about Pat Foley, Hall of Fame goalies, the way he would say it between Bannerman, Belfour, they're both ahead of Crow, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, Bannerman was the top of the food chain.
Probably also Hackett is probably. I mean, he
Hackett,
did hit a good Hackett.
How about Tebow?
Yeah,
The Bannerman, that's
Crawford ahead of Huey.
Oh, Cristobal Huey.
Crystal ball.
Did I say it wrong?
Casey, we're naming some Blackhawks goalies.
You
Just
love.
let me be here.
I see where you're going with that. Okay.
All right.
I'm impressed that I pulled off that I remember Cristobal Huey there.
I think
Huey,
number
too.
38, if I'm not mistaken.
I like JP's comment here. He said, would have been nice if Chris Sale stayed with the Chicago White Sox and remained healthy, but his jersey would need to include some scissor cuts
Seriously.
on it. Absolutely.
That guy.
It was great until
Cut from a different cloth.
Dad
Good
joke.
one.
All right, with that, we're going to wrap this episode of the Chicago Sports Podcast. Coming at you every Thursday. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Is that it? That's your sign off? I just have to go.
Do I
Okay.
have to say anything else?
I don't know. I guess I wasn't ready for it. Bye, Gary. Bye, everyone in the chat.
We
We all silly like the mayor.